Why does it seem like India's defense developments are moving at a snail's pace? It's a question that has many puzzled. When it comes to defense advancements, we often point fingers at the usual suspects: corruption, lack of funding, the bureaucratic red tape. But are these the only culprits? Or is there more to the story? As we unpack this intriguing conundrum, you'll find that the reality of why India's defense sector lags behind is more complex than it appears. Corruption, the clandestine enemy, seems to be a major roadblock. It creeps into the veins of our defense system, weakening its very core. It's not just a matter of money being siphoned off, but the time lost, the opportunities missed, and the progress delayed. In the defense sector, the impact of corruption is particularly severe. It's like a stealthy saboteur, undermining our security from within. Let's take a closer look at some instances where corruption has played its part. Remember the infamous defense deal scandal of the late 90s? A multi-million-dollar contract, intended to modernize our military, was derailed by allegations of bribes and kickbacks. The fallout was immediate. The deal was put on hold, the modernization process stalled, and our military was left to make do with aging equipment. Then, there were the helicopter deal and the submarine deal, both marred by allegations of corruption. These weren't just money-making schemes for a few individuals. They were setbacks for our defense preparedness, delaying crucial acquisitions and upgrades. Corruption also leads to a lack of trust and confidence among our international partners. It makes other countries hesitant to enter into defense agreements with us, fearing the potential for scandal and controversy. This not only limits our access to cutting-edge technology, but also hampers our strategic partnerships. Moreover, corruption diverts precious resources away from where they're most needed. Instead of investing in research and development, in training our personnel, in maintaining and upgrading our equipment, we end up wasting money on inflated contracts and unnecessary middlemen. This is the insidious impact of corruption on our defense sector. It's not just about the money lost, it's about the time wasted, the opportunities missed, the progress thwarted. It's about the tarnishing of our national reputation, the undermining of our security, and the weakening of our defense capabilities. Corruption, unfortunately, not only delays our defense advancements, but also tarnishes our national reputation. It's a battle we must fight, and a battle we must win, for the sake of our nation's security and prosperity. Money, or rather, the lack of it, is another major impediment. It's a simple truth that defense advancements require significant financial backing. Without adequate funding, it becomes challenging to develop and procure advanced defense equipment. Let's break it down. Research and development in defense technology is an expensive affair. It takes years, sometimes decades, of dedicated work to produce cutting-edge weaponry or defense systems. High-tech labs, top-notch scientists, and rigorous testing. All of these require substantial financial support. But what happens when the money isn't there? Well, projects get delayed, or worse, scrapped entirely. The absence of sufficient funds means having to compromise on quality, and sometimes even on safety standards. This can lead to the procurement of substandard equipment, which in turn affects the overall efficiency and effectiveness of our defense forces. Moreover, lack of funding doesn't just have tangible effects, it also hits where it hurts the most: morale. Imagine being a soldier trained to protect the nation, but not having the best equipment to do so. It's disheartening, to say the least, but it's not just about the soldiers. It's also about the scientists and engineers who work tirelessly behind the scenes, developing technologies to enhance our defense capabilities. When they see their projects stalled or scrapped due to lack of funds, it affects their motivation and commitment. Furthermore, the lack of funding for defense sends a wrong message internationally. It raises questions about our commitment to national security and our ability to protect our borders in an increasingly volatile global scenario. It's crucial to understand that adequate defense funding is not just about buying fancy equipment. It's about investing in our nation's safety, in the lives of our soldiers, and in our standing on the global stage. In a world where countries are continually upping their defense game, it's crucial that we don't fall behind in the race. We must ensure that our defense sector is sufficiently funded, not just to meet our current needs, but also to prepare for future challenges. The lack of adequate funding is not just a budget issue, but a matter of national security. Ever heard of the term red tape? It's another ghost haunting our defense sector. Red tape, if you're unfamiliar, is a term that refers to excessive bureaucracy or adherence to official rules and formalities. It's the sea of paperwork, procedures, and approvals that can often slow down or even halt progress in any sector, and defense is no exception. Imagine you are an innovator with a revolutionary idea that could drastically improve our defense capabilities. You're excited, you're ready to bring this to life. But first, you must navigate through the labyrinth of red tape. Your idea must be approved by multiple committees, each with their own set of rules and regulations. You must also adhere to stringent standards and requirements. These processes, while designed to ensure safety and accountability, can take an enormous amount of time, often years. And in the world of defense, time is a luxury we can't afford. Let's take a look at a specific instance. The Tejas light combat aircraft, a project that was initiated in the early 80s, took more than 3 decades to come to fruition. Yes, you heard that right. More than 30 years. The project was entangled in a web of red tape, with countless procedures and approvals, causing significant delays and cost overruns. Another example is the Arjun main battle tank, a project that faced similar challenges. Despite its potential to transform our ground defense capabilities, the project was delayed by over a decade due to red tape. These are but a couple of examples, and there are countless more. Red tape is not inherently evil. It's there to ensure that every decision made, every project undertaken is done so with the utmost care and consideration. But when it starts to hinder progress, when it becomes a roadblock rather than a safety net, it's time to take a step back and reassess. We need to strike a balance between ensuring safety and accountability and fostering innovation and progress. Because only then can we truly advance our defense sector, only then can we ensure the security of our nation. Red tape, while intended to ensure proper procedures, often ends up being a roadblock in the path of progress. While we grapple with our issues, our neighbor China is rapidly advancing its defense capabilities. Indeed, the dragon to our north is on the rise, making formidable strides in defense. From their state-of-the-art fighter jets to impressive warships, their military might is growing at an astonishing pace. Their commitment to defense innovation is evident in their research and development, which has seen breakthroughs in areas like stealth technology, hypersonic missiles, and artificial intelligence. This rapid development is not without implications for India. The balance of power in the region is shifting, and it's crucial for us to keep pace. We need to understand the gravity of the situation and not be complacent about our own defense capabilities. Our border disputes and geopolitical tensions make it all the more imperative for us to stay vigilant and proactive in our defense planning. But it's not just about matching China's defense capabilities. It's about surpassing them. It's about harnessing our potential, our resources, and our talent to create a defense system that is robust, resilient, and forward-thinking. We have the skills, the knowledge, and the determination. What we need now is the right infrastructure, the right policies, and the right mindset. We need to move away from an import-dependent defense sector to one that is self-reliant and innovation-driven. We need to invest in research and development, foster partnerships between the public and private sectors, and create an ecosystem that encourages defense innovation. We need to cut through the red tape, streamline our processes, and prioritize defense in our national budget. We need to tackle corruption head-on and ensure that every penny spent on defense is used efficiently and effectively. We need to recognize that a strong defense is not just about having the most advanced weapons or the biggest army. It's about having a strategic vision, a clear plan, and the resolve to implement it. The strides China is making in defense should not intimidate us, but inspire us to do better. We have the potential, we have the capability, And with the right approach, we can rise above the challenges and ensure a secure and prosperous future for our nation. So, what does this all mean for India's defense sector? We've delved into the depths of corruption, the conundrum of funding, and the entanglement in bureaucratic red tape that persistently hamper our defense advancements. We've examined the rising dragon, China, and contrasted the swift strides they're making in their defense sector against our own pace. Corruption, as we've explored, is not a mere blemish on the surface. It's a deep-rooted disease that corrodes the very foundation of our defense sector. If we're to expedite our defense developments, we must first eradicate this cancerous corruption. The funding conundrum, on the other hand, is a complex puzzle. Adequate funding is crucial for technological advancements and infrastructure development. It's time we prioritize our defense sector in our budget allocations, for a strong defense is the cornerstone of a secure nation. Lastly, the red tape, the bureaucratic hurdles and endless paperwork that stifle innovation and delay progress. We need to streamline our processes, minimize bureaucratic involvement, and foster a culture of efficiency and transparency. But let's not forget the elephant in the room, the rising dragon. China's defense developments are a wake-up call. They highlight the urgency of accelerating our own defense advancements. The need of the hour is not just to identify these issues, but to actively work towards resolving them. For in the end, it's not just about defense developments. It's about our nation's security.